Believe it or not, it's been more than 9 years since The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt was released on last-gen consoles and PC. Since then, a lot has happened. The Witcher 3 would go on to sell millions of units, whereas CDPR's next project, Cyberpunk 2077, would turn out to be a disaster in 2020. It was only last year when Phantom Liberty was released. Cyberpunk 2077 seems to be in a much better condition. Now that CDPR has moved on from Cyberpunk 2077 and are completely focused on the next Witcher, what do we know about it? Well, not a lot on gameplay-related details, but we know quite a bit about the game's vision and the developer's goals. In this video, we highlight all we know about the next Witcher game straight from the horse's mouth. The Witcher 4 will do something CDPR haven't done before. Speaking during a Q&A with investors in April of this year, co-CEO Mikhail Novakovsky touched on the inherent risks of making a new game and trying to innovate with it, before adding that though the next Witcher game will be building on what CDPR has learned from past games, it will also be doing things the studio hasn't done before. When it comes to the risks of innovative elements, making a new game is always a creative risk, especially since we're trying to push new boundaries and explore new fields, do something we haven't actually done before, Novakovsky said. I guess what I'm saying is that you shouldn't be expecting The Witcher 3 in new clothing of sorts. Of course, we're building on the shoulders of what came before and on what we've learned, but we will be adding new gameplay elements and new mechanics that you've not seen in our previous games. I'd say doing such things is always a risk. It's not just repeating what was done before. The Witcher 4 has over 400 developers working on it. Unsurprisingly, the game that is currently demanding the bulk of CD Projekt's attention right now is The Witcher 4, or Project Polaris as it's currently known. Back in May of this year, a total of 407 developers were currently working on the game, which is roughly 64% of CD Projekt's entire development workforce. The project is still in pre-production right now. All the other projects that are currently in the works are in much earlier stages of development. The Cyberpunk sequel, Project Orion, is currently in the concept phase, with a team of 56 people working on it. Project Sirius, which is the Molasses Floods Witcher spin-off, which rebooted development last year, is in pre-production, and has a team of 37 developers working on it. Then, there's Fool's Theory's remake of the original Witcher, which is in the concept phase. Since it's not being internally developed, CD Projekt hasn't shared the size of the team that's working on the remake. And finally, there's Project Hadar, CDPR's first original new IP, which is also set to be an RPG. Currently in the IP concept phase, it's being worked on by a team of 20 people. The Witcher 4 aims to enter full production this year. With Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty and all the major updates for the base game now out of the way, CD Projekt Red is looking ahead to the future with new and upcoming projects. And it looks like The Witcher 4, or whatever it ends up being called, is going to be the next game the studio puts the bulk of its attention on. Currently in the pre-production phase, the game aims to enter full production sometime this year, CD Projekt CEO Adam Badovsky has told Reuters. The Witcher 4 will be an excellent entry point for newcomers. Speaking in a recent interview with Lega Nerd, game director Kalemba said that though CD Projekt Red will obviously make sure that The Witcher 4, or whatever it ends up being called, will remain consistent with the franchise's lore, the studio wants to ensure that it isn't making something that's too similar to previous installments. As per Kalemba though, the game, which won't be out for some years, will continue to appeal to series fans. It will also serve as a jumping-off point for those who've never played a Witcher game before. We want to continue on the same path we've taken, but we don't want to make the same game, he said. I think that's a given. We've got some lore elements that must be kept. After all, it is still the same universe, and we can't go beyond certain limits. Therefore, we must follow a very specific path and innovate on that. At the same time, it's clear that we have to try to appease a new public. The Witcher 4 won't be out for some years, and it'll be a long time since the previous one, so we can't just target the audience already fond of the saga. We must also build a new community. On that note, I believe I can say that it will be an excellent entry point for many players, without forgetting the long-time fans who still wish to follow Geralt's adventures. Kalemba's mention of fans who still wish to follow Geralt's adventures, which suggests the original trilogy's protagonist will return in some capacity, is certainly intriguing. Development pace. CDPR are working on a number of projects at this point, but the game that is further in development is the next Witcher game. So, the new Witcher saga will enter production this year. It's the most advanced of all of those, said Associate Game Director Pavel Sasko in a podcast on Flow Games. It won't be called The Witcher 4. Back in 2018, when CDPR was still working on Cyberpunk 2077, it was revealed that the next Witcher game won't be titled The Witcher 4. CD Projekt Red's CEO Adam Kaczynski, in a conversation with Bankia PL, revealed that the next game won't be a numbered title. This was expected, since the new Witcher game will begin a new trilogy. So, what are your thoughts on this? Go ahead and share them in the comments below. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon to get new video updates. We upload every day and would really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.